Thank you so much, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Dom Mafia Live. That is right, folks. Live Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. ES. Well, no, holy hell. I am just getting the huddle confused with it. Excuse me. 11 a.m. EST, 5:15 p.m. EST, each and every single Monday through Friday. That is right, folks. We have a final practice update. We have a final injury report. As many of you guys know, we did know that Keon Coleman would not be playing by Monday. We also ended up learning that Dalton Kincaid is not going to be playing. No one is surprised there. And then obviously we have some question marks pertaining to a couple of our favorite players of whether or not that they are going to make it happen. We have King Jamie the Mad in the chat already. Guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Run it on up. Run it on up, folks. As a reminder, I'm giving away this Josh Allen rookie card, folks, and this is going to be announced on Sunday during my live play-by-play reaction. I am absolutely thrilled. I'm glad that this year that I have had the luxury of partnering with Pristine Auction, being able to give you all of these giveaways as they come through at the door. Trust me, I've been wanting to keep a hell of a lot of them for quite some time, but instead I'm giving them to you. I love each and every single one of you for that. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and roll call in the chat, folks. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Always something that I like to get a good understanding of is how far Bills Mafia truly extends, guys. Just go on ahead and sound off and let me know your thoughts. We have Eric in the chat saying, good afternoon, Dan. Good afternoon to you, my guy. Hope all is well. We have Sean Cash. I don't like that everyone is picking the Buffalo Bills to win. And I mean, listen, if some of us are a little superstitious, thank God that it wasn't a clean sweep, all right? Because I think it was NFL Network that had a slew of their reporters pick the Buffalo Bills with the exception of two. Thank God it wasn't a clean sweep, but it does appear to have the Buffalo Bills as the favorites to win this. It looks like that they're really putting home field advantage right in front of our eyes. But who knows? I mean, maybe Harrison Butker not being out on the field, not potentially being out there, may have things interesting. We play better when the media doubts us. Absolutely, man. Let's just hope that that's not the case. What's good, Dan? Cheesy Pop, man. Hope all is well. Hope you are doing wonderful. Did you see the image I sent on Discord? I did not, but I'll definitely go ahead and check that out here in a bit. We got LA. We got Billy D. Williams in the chat, folks. Listen, go ahead and sound off in the chat right now. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Roll call, Bills Mafia roll call. Where are we going, man? Where are my guys that are overseas? We have quite a bit to talk about today. That is for damn sure. Storm Garris, South Carolina. What is going on, my friend? I lived in Myrtle Beach for quite some time. Love South Carolina, man. I can tell you that much. We have Colorado in the chat. We have Omega rolling on in. He's doing his thing, man. You are the only Bills fan I respect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's dark where Dan is. Just like the Pats, Hayes and Dolphins season. Oh, my God, man. He's out there. He's going crazy. We got Michael Stark. He's typing the like button. He's typing the like button. He's not even smashing it. He's just doing that. It's funny that people are picking the Bills to win, but I think it's just to not curse the Chiefs out of fear. They don't really think Buffalo will win. I wonder if people are that superstitious, right? Like, obviously, everybody in this chat, we have a lot of PTSD from games in the past. So we're going to have to see how it plays out. It's dark where Dan is. It's just like the Jets, Pats, and the Dolphins seasons. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. The sun is currently setting where I stand right now. My actual desk is right in front where I get to look at the view. And it's beautiful, baby. Bills are garbage. We have Junie Gibson is coming on in the chat, starting a little bit of trash talk. And I really appreciate that. Austin, Texas is in the house. Yamina Gomez, what is going on? Hope all is well. Ansley from Georgia, I normally don't get to make the 5:15 ones, but I am here today. Absolutely love to see it. Hello from New Hampshire / Massachusetts. Shout out Bill Cretion. What's going on, my guy? Hope all is well. I just want the Dolphins season to be over already. We have that. We always win the regular season, but lose the playoff game. I mean, maybe we end up switching the script at this point. We really do. We have Jetted Out coming in. Dan, are you nervous? So I'll be honest with you. I'm going to sit down for this one. This is an interesting question that I feel like a lot of us have here. Let me go ahead and put this down here for a hot second. Damn. Let me go ahead and knock this out real fast. There you go. There you go. Dan, are you nervous about this game coming up? Well, let me tell you what, my friend. So do I want to see Patrick Mahomes cry And do I want to be able to run victory laps around all of the Chiefs fans that have been in my DMs all week telling me that Buffalo sucks? Absolutely. But I mean, so to be completely honest with you, I really don't feel like I would be that upset if the Buffalo Bills ultimately ended up losing this game. It really doesn't say a lot because what I think is the most important thing is for this team to get healthy. Obviously, I want to see Amari Cooper out there. I genuinely believe that he will play. That's just my overall take there. But dude, I mean, I wouldn't be pissed off if like we just ended up focusing on getting healthy leading into the bye so that we have as full of a strength of a roster as humanly possible. It's just how it is, man. It is just how it is. That's kind of where I'm at. So Matt Milano won't be joining us versus Kansas City. We have Izzy 1K. No, he was elevated from the IR, so he has a 21-day practice window, meaning that he has to be elevated to the full roster by December 4th. So if I'm a gambling man, he's going to be ready for the first game back after the bye week. It's going to be the San Francisco 49ers game. It's nice to see him practicing, though. It's very nice to see him practicing. Shout out to the training staff that was able to help this guy move forward. We love it. Hey, Dan, I know this is completely irrelevant, but I'm looking for another Bills jersey. I love running backs the most and was wondering if you think Fred Jackson is a good jersey. Absolutely, man. I mean, obviously, he's a Buffalo Bills legend. I'm always afraid to end up buying jerseys of players that are especially running back since the league just likes to recycle these guys and they always end up choosing younger unless, of course, you have a Derrick Henry-esque sort of player on your squad. Yeah, dude, listen, I think Fred Jackson would probably be wonderful. That or maybe even Thurman Thomas. That could potentially be the thought. Randy PQ, what is going on, Randy? How's Randy doing today, baby? Let's talk about that. Are you watching the Tyson BS Paul matchup or Tyson v. Paul? I certainly am. I think Jake Paul is going to win it, though. Dan, and do we know if Amari Cooper or Keon Coleman will be playing or no? Keon is officially out of the game. He is officially out of the game, and then Cooper is listed as questionable. If I'm a gambling man, I have a feeling that Amari Cooper will play. Trolling aside, I actually really enjoy your videos. Junie Gibson, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Okay, I respect the answer because down the top wides, not promising. Also, who is your favorite Bill besides Josh Allen? Right now, it's Christian Benford. So, like on like this current team, it's Christian Benford, hands down, no questions asked. Hey, Dan, you cursed us out for doubting last Sunday, and are you ready to call us some bitches again? Absolutely. I am sorry for calling all of you bitches during the chat yesterday. But listen, sometimes I just need to set you guys straight, right? Like, I also am a Debbie Downer when I don't see the Buffalo Bills perform well. But I realize now that I have a responsibility to be the shining light of positivity for this fan base. Sometimes I got to talk to you like my boys. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just got to talk to you like my boys. We have Connor Long in the chat. What's going on, my guy? How are you? He's an up-and-coming Jets YouTuber, does a wonderful job over there. He's done a couple of things for us over at the Roundtable channel as well. Shout out to my boy Connor. What is going on? I am so sorry about your Jets, my guy, for real. Dang it. We have Izzy coming in. Dan, be honest. And do you think we're cooked with all these injuries against Kansas City? I think our defense is fine. Is not necessarily. So I do think that there are some things that this Buffalo Bills team can exploit. They have a great run defense. They really do. But I'm not a big fan of a lot of their DBs outside of is McDuffie as far as pass coverage is concerned. They are letting up the most yards out of any team in the NFL to tight ends. We still have Dawson Knox on the squad. I do think that we'll be able to leverage him and get him going. I think Khalil Shakir has some favorable matchups as well. And then obviously you have Josh Allen as the QB. It's going to be interesting, but there are a lot of opportunities for that defense. And here's the thing. If this is a game where the Buffalo Bills defense ends up winning the game for us, which I genuinely believe that we can, because we're number one in turnover differential for a reason, right? And I think that we're going to be able to commit to the run. Very similar game plan that we had against the Seattle Seahawks, because we actually trust our corners. We trust our DBs against the wide receivers. It's how it is. Hey, Dan, Connor Long, that's my guy right over there. I appreciate it, Dan. Back regularly at Roundtable Weekly starting on Saturday at 8. That is my dude. What is going on, my friend? He's back at Roundtable. He's cooking for us. Kansas City is going to blow you guys out. We have Cole Simps for Josh Allen. Okay, I am very confused at who this person is, but thank you so much for tuning in. Honestly, I really appreciate that. Let me see what else we got. Miles High is saying, go Denver. Man, listen, those Denver Broncos, brother. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm very sorry about that. Bills defense sucks. I honestly don't know who this is. Is this that Bengals fan girl? I feel like this is that Bengals um, sort of fangirl right in the chat already. I'm calling it Knox is going to be the leading wide receiver. I mean, listen, so the stats are there, and Kansas City gives up the most yards against any tight end on the face of the planet. So might as well implement him into the game plan. There's no question about that. Storm, and do you want or do you think we elevate Davidson for the game? I don't think so. I think that this coaching staff is completely fine with Dawson Knox and Quentin Morris, not unless we plan on going a lot of 12-man personnel, which we are wildly effective with. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. Thoughts on the backfield duo, James Cook and Ray Davis? I think that they are the best RB1 and RB2 that this team has had in quite some time. I think that they really complement each other based off of skill set. However, will we see a great game from either of those two against the Kansas City Chiefs, who ultimately end up having, I would say, the best run defense in all of the NFL? They are top 3, top 5 in almost every single category. So I don't know, right? Like, you also have to look at the Dallas Cowboys game last year. They at one point had a very good run defense, and then James Cook went out there and whipped his nutsack out all over that run D. So it's very difficult to predict at this point, but I think that it's largely going to be attacking the linebackers and safeties in coverage. Already making excuses. It's Milky. It's Milky or it's the Bengals girl. I think Milky and the Bengals girl are the exact same person. Who would you want to play first come the playoffs? I would love the Chargers or I would love the Denver Broncos for the first playoff matchup. What the hell is Milky? Okay, that is some old Dan or Don Mafia stream lore right there. We had like this kid that had like 9 different accounts that had like multiple different personalities. It was actually like very entertaining at one point. It would be so funny if she changed her name and came back in here. Wouldn't that be hysterical? Buffalo 24, Kansas City 23. We have buy stocks. Dude, I'm going to tell you what. I think that it's going to be a 1-point game. I think I had 28-27. I think it's going to be decided by like a last-minute field goal. I honestly hope. I honestly hope that it's Tyler Bass sinking it right in between the uprights. People keep sleeping on my boy, Ty Johnson. Same thing with Ty Johnson. Ref's kingdom. Mile High is rolling in saying that. When Matt Milano comes back, should we limit light boxes? Also, how do you use Johnson as a result? So Matt Milano, I feel like we really need to be careful with this guy because he hasn't played a snap of football in over 400 days. Really, at the end of the day, with Taron Johnson, obviously we're that team that's going to be running a lot of nickel. So I don't really see changing that for the most part, right? Like, he's that guy in coverage. Like, he ended up winning the Defensive Player Award of the Week for a reason. And I'll be honest with you, this Buffalo Bills team has been running light boxes for the vast majority of the season so far. This alludes to the theory that Sean McDermott is baiting these offensive coordinators into showing their best pitches for the most part. I think that we're excited to get Matt Milano back, but not necessarily for his ability to like actually stay in the box and be yet another weapon in our overall pass rush. I think the reason we rushed him back was definitely being able to make his contributions right in overall pass coverage. And obviously his presence alone is certainly going to help once we end up going up against some more of those beefy running backs. But again, I'm going to continue to say this. I really don't think this Buffalo Bills run defense is as bad as everybody is letting it out to be, largely because how many teams are being successful against Derrick Henry when he's cracking off 20 carries per game? Not many. So that right there was an anomaly, right? And then number 2, as I've said before, like, look at all of the stats that we do against the run from the first half versus the second. So long-winded answer for your question is that I think that Milano was rushed back exclusively for help in overall pass coverage, not necessarily going to be risking him, at least early, stacking him up in the box. That's my take on that. Even though Kansas City linebackers suck, I think Shakir will be wide receiver 1. Patrick Mahomes deep-throating the refs once again. We have a Broncos fan in here pulling back 0 punches against their recent loss against the Kansas City Chiefs. Dan, is it true we have our 31st run defense in the league? It's not good, right? I mean, we can go ahead and pull up some of these numbers real fast and take a look. Let me see. Let's go NFL points allowed. Let's go Buffalo Bills. Fun fact, we're still a top 10 defense. All right. Still a top 10 defense as far as that plays. But here, let me go ahead and share my screen real fast so we can take a look at what the run defense suggests. And a lot of this time, I do feel like that the numbers are skewed, but it's something to think about, right? So with the defense, we're still top 10 in the league for points allowed. That is 19.3 points per game. That is still very good. What does that tell you? Solid red zone. Solid red zone defense. We're right below 50%. That's 8th in the league. And then also fourth down conversion. We are locked down in fourth down conversion. Third down, not so much. Ironically enough, we're a hell of a lot better in third and short situations than we are in third and long situations after the fact by itself. But look, here's the thing. Yards per rush, we are 29th in the league, right? So about 5. This largely has to do with the fact, folks, again, we haven't been putting heavy boxes up all season. It's how it is. Rushes per game, 25.3 out of 10. And then rush yards per game, 123.2. So we're right middle of the pack. So I wouldn't necessarily come out here and I wouldn't suggest that we are the worst in the league, but we're middle of the pack. And the reason this number is not worse is because of the halftime adjustments that we are able to make each and every single game. It's just how it is. Guys, listen, we have 131 of you on YouTube right now, 136 of you on X. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Guys, listen, if you are watching on X or if you are watching on YouTube, I just want to remind everybody I am giving away this Josh Allen rookie card. I'm announcing the winner during my live game reaction on Sunday. So do me a favor, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We want 50,000 subscribers by the end of the regular season. I genuinely believe that we can get there. Genuinely believe. The Chiefs are barely winning games. Bills are scoring 30 points a game. I don't understand why to trust the Chiefs so much. Dan Mitchell, what about Ray Davis? We have last week, we didn't use him, or was he being saved for the Kansas City game? It's interesting, right? Because what did he have? 2 carries for 3 or 4 yards? It was mostly a James Cook game that we saw last week against the Indianapolis Colts. I really wish I had the answers here. My guess, my theory is that depending on the sort of defense that we're going up against, that ends up giving the nod at what particular running back is going to be the main focus of the Buffalo Bills rushing attack. You've heard me say this before. I don't think this team is going to successfully be able to run the ball against Kansas City, but if we do, I think your best option is Ray Davis for this game, right? He's built for it. He's more of a contact balance guy. He can run in between the tackles. Yards after contact, those numbers are way better than James Cook. He's a hell of a lot better of a safety blanket in the pass game by itself. So that's sort of my thought process there. But again, I think that it's largely going to be an air raid attack sort of game plan. Blame your kicker for choking on that loss, dude. We have Izzy. Even if we lose this game, I just can't show the best plays so we can finally beat them come playoffs. Look at that, man. Bills defense sucks. Cole Simps for Josh Allen. We have the Chiefs are giving last year Philadelphia Eagles vibes. Energy before they collapse in December, or is it just me? I don't know, right? See, I've seen videos before where somebody tried to say, say that the football bounced this way or that way, then this Kansas City Chiefs team would be 2-7, right? And I typically don't eat a lot of that content up because good teams find a way to win, right? As annoying as it was that this Kansas City Chiefs team beat the Denver Broncos on a block field goal, at some point you have to give them credit, right? Because that was a special teams victory. And that's largely a unit in each and every single 53-man roster that is ignored by itself. So sometimes, yes, maybe a team is struggling, but they're still ultimately end up winning games. That's why I hate, you're barely winning these games. What does that tell me? That tells me that they are very well coached on all aspects of the field. They are very well coached from a head coach perspective, obviously. He's the offensive play caller. He's brilliant. Great defensive coordinator in Spags. And their special teams coach is just there for these guys. You can get away with some questionable personnel performances if you have lockdown coaching. And that's unfortunately what the Kansas City Chiefs have. They have a great coaching staff, man. Listen, have to give credit when credit is due. Dan, don't forget about Ray Davis, man. Absolutely. A lot of people think the Bills are overrated because we have only beaten one team with a winning record, the Cardinals. So if we beat Kansas City, we will prove that we are not overrated. I'm really not so much concerned that like we need to prove people that we are a good football team, right? Like I'm not so much that. I do want to win this game. I do want to win this game. That is 110%. Is Cooper out? He is questionable. But if I'm guessing, I'm assuming he's going to be out there. Hey, Dan, what's good? Matthew the video. I'm doing great, bro. I hope all is well. Cooper is questionable. There is this theory that has been circulating. I'm not sure. I bought in, but it is interesting. Let me see if I can find the link. I'll put it in here for you, Dan. Beth, give me the synopsis of the theory. I'm interested. I wonder if I've already seen it. I would love to talk on that. Bo Nix is going to be a Kirk Cousins tomorrow. Welcome back to Denver, Justin Simmons. We have Ina Johnson rolling on in. I think Cooper will play. I mean, you and I are on the exact same page when we're talking about that for now. But okay, guys. So we have the injury report. Like I said, everybody has been wondering. Yes, of course, with Keon Coleman. He is out. He's still battling with that wrist injury, which is certainly less than ideal. We have Amari Cooper and Spencer Brown is questionable. Spencer Brown, I'm really hoping can make it happen, right? And then Dalton Kincaid and Matt Milano is out. Absolutely. There is this theory. Okay, we already have that so far. We have Ina Johnson. I think Cooper is back. Susan. And the Cole Sims for Josh Allen girl is Haley's friend. It's definitely Haley. She's in here just doing her daily troll at the end of the day. Bills can only be at the Chiefs in the regular season. They choke in the playoffs. Hey, man, listen, I was trying to empathize with you earlier when you were in this stream about missing that field goal, all right? But now, no way, all right? And I can't wait to send Bo Nix home in the playoffs this year too, bro. That's basically where I'm sitting at. 313 of you in the chat already, folks. 156 of you on YouTube. 157 of you on X. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Again, I'm giving away this Josh Allen rookie card. Must be a subscriber to the channel if you have not already, to make it happen, baby. Let's go ahead and talk about that. We have tab account. And Bills fans are copycatters, so they've heard you say that you don't care about the wins, so they repeatedly say the same thing. Watching the Lions game, the fight, the passion, and what they call grit. Do we measure? Man, with the Lions game, fuck, man. I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I really don't like that matchup. I had it pegged for a loss at the beginning of the season. But then again, it's hard for me to look into the future, right? Like it's very hard for me to look into the future when it comes into any game that is outside of this Kansas City Chiefs matchup, because I have no idea what these teams are going to look like at any given week. For all we know, say, for example, this 49ers team suffers some significant injuries this weekend, or maybe even the following, right before we end up playing them. It's hard to like give an actual take on how you feel a game is going to turn out 4 to 5 weeks down the road, because it's just unrealistic, right? Because especially now that it's November and December and these injuries are really starting to pile up for a lot of squads, it's very difficult, man. It just all comes down to who is the better coach. Nicely said about the Kansas City Chiefs. Thank you so much, man. It's not Haley, it's your friend. Bella Rose, I'd rather we beat them in January. I really don't think this game is all that important compared to the playoffs. And do you think Matt Milano will be back after the bye? I have a gut feeling he will be. His 21-day practice window is activated. He has to be activated to the roster by December 4th. The San Francisco 49ers game is December 1st. So I'm assuming he's going to be that guy. We have Urban. And do you think that we specifically built our defense to allow to run and lock down the pass to combat the Kansas City specifically? Let me read that again from Urban Outdoors. And do you think we specifically built our defense to allow to run and lock down the pass to combat the Kansas City Chiefs specifically? I mean, not necessarily, man. I think that what the Buffalo Bills defense did is that they realized and they completely ended up adopting the identity of being a bend but not break sort of situation, right? I think that it helps against the Kansas City Chiefs, but I feel like when you end up going up against teams that really don't have like scary wide receivers, particularly ones that have the advantage like in speed or with speed, etc., that's when the Buffalo Bills are able to go on ahead and actually commit to the run, right? Say, for example, that maybe they have a couple of threats from the receiving room, and then say, for example, that they have like a quality running back, that's when we're going to see Sean McDermott sort of test sort of these offensive coordinators. But that is not the way for this Kansas City Chiefs game. Absolutely not. You cannot do that. Zero way there. We have RRD. It's Bill Walsh Philosophy Sunday. Keep our players healthy. And as Walsh said in his book, if you can't beat them, beat them. I love that. I love that. No matter what, 49ers are going to win. I don't know why Bean hasn't built our defense to beat Kansas City. I mean, listen, I think that he has, but let's definitely remember who was in our linebacker room during that game, right? And also remember, during that regular season matchup we had with them last year, when we had a full strength defense, so we held them to 17 points. So I think it's not that Bean hasn't built it from a personnel standpoint, but I don't think Bean was also walking into the Kansas City game expecting us to end up winning a matchup when we didn't have Rasul Douglas out there and we didn't have Terrell Bernard. We didn't have Matt Milano, right? Like, we were banged the hell up versus that Kansas City game, right? It's just how it plays out. I can't believe people think the Bills are going to win. We have Josh Allen sucks is in the chat. I can't post in here, but it's definitely interesting. The theory that is a lot of the defenses we have played were top ranked in some category before the game. We made them drop ranks afterwards. Every year since Josh Allen has been here in the playoffs, he has won and the defense has lost. Absolutely. We have LJ coming in. Let's win both games this Sunday and in January. No need to pick and choose. Josh cements the MVP this Sunday with a beatdown of the Kansas City Chiefs. Do you think that we will get the 1 seed if we beat Kansas City? It's tough to say because, again, I really don't know if they're going to be dealing with injuries or other teams are going to be dealing with injuries at any given time. It's hard to go undefeated, right? As far as I look at their schedule, see, I do think that the LA Chargers could certainly sneak a victory against them once they end up facing each other again. And I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers have an opportunity of beating them later on in the season. So I don't think that it's 100% out of reach, but I'm probably going to stand pat at this. I honestly think that the 2nd seed is exactly where we need to be. Kansas City has been ass in the red zone. Bend but don't break is actually a great strategy as we are stingy as hell in the red zone. Absolutely. Josh is my fantasy quarterback. He is the actual GOAT. We have DOT. Hey, man. Shout out to my boy DOT's fantasy football team drafting well. He's a smart GM. That's for damn sure. Here is the future for you. Bills will win their next 10 games in a row. Chiefs, 49ers, Lions will be laid to waste as we make our championship run. I absolutely love that. I just have a feeling Brown and Cooper play. It's just too important. Gut it out. Me too, my friend. Me too. I don't know why people think the Bills are going to get the 1 seed. There's Haley. What's going on? How was school today? So our defenses beat Kansas City. We play them like a playoff game in regular season and have won last 3 years. It's the playoffs. They get us because they have already played playoff Bills. Needs to change. We have Urban rolling in saying, honestly, the thing that I see the most between the Bills and the Chiefs is neither defense can stop the other's offense. And it always goes down to who has the ball last, playoffs and regular season. That wouldn't be completely out of the realm of possibilities. Is that right? This game, I feel like, decides if we will be the 1 or 2 seed in the AFC. If we win and if we lose, I think we're going to be 3rd seed in the AFC. See, I'm going to tell you what. I think our perfect path is the 2nd seed. I feel like our perfect path to the Super Bowl is the 2nd seed. Josh Allen doesn't suck because what if they get it, fam? I love it. I love it, bro. Sooner or later, and the Bills will beat Kansas in the playoffs. It's bound to happen. One of these days, man. Prime time could be the Cowboys' next coach. And who do you think the Bills will lose to this season? I think we lose to the Lions. But, I mean, honestly, man, I think we have one more loss. And that sounds like a homer take, but I really feel like we only have one more. Dan, are you watching the fight tonight? Oh, I'll be watching, man. No one plays us better. We have Mile High. Josh Allen is washed. We have F the Bills. F it, Bills by 60. That's what we're talking about over here. We have RP in the chat. I just go out and play to win. We may not even see Kansas City in the playoffs. For all we know, Mahomes blows his knee out next week. Matthew DeVideo. Dan, and do you know where Terrell Dotson went to? You're going to be pissed off once I tell you this, but he's a Miami Dolphin. Is Mahomes is this year's number one QB as the closer, especially in the fourth quarter, and the game will be determined in the fourth quarter. So something to think about this offense, right? Absolutely lethal in third down conversions. Absolutely lethal in third down conversions. So it's very, very important that we bring our absolute best each and every single time that he has those opportunities. Matthew, he went to Seattle, I believe. Nah, he's in Miami, unfortunately, bro. And so do you plan on doing call-ins during halftime going forward? Call-ins would be interesting at halftime, wouldn't it? I would definitely want to go on ahead and make sure that I made it strategic so I can make sure that everybody ends up getting some time in. But yeah, man, most definitely. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm probably going to start doing call-ins more often on this channel because as many of you guys know, I love talking to you, love hanging out with each and every single one of you on a regular basis. That's what we're doing, baby. And that's what we're doing. But all right, folks, that's going to do it. It is a wonderful evening. I'm going to go enjoy it. I'm going to go grab myself a nice little steak, baby, somewhere, hang out a little bit. And I'll be back, folks. As always, I am live each and every single Buffalo Bills game for my live play-by-play reaction. I will be doing the exact same thing on Sunday. I'll probably do a bit of a pregame show or like a tailgate show in the morning as well. So if you haven't already, guys, I love that each and every single one of you have been rocking with me. Subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, certainly do that because I'm giving away a whole bunch of stuff, bro. This Josh Allen rookie card. I'm announcing the winner on Sunday. And then afterwards, folks, I'm giving away a signed Keon Coleman jersey right over there, baby. Signed Keon Coleman jersey is the next giveaway. All you have to be is a subscriber in order to make that happen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love each and every single one of you. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you again, guys. Peace.